Hello everybody and welcome back to part number 2 of our preview of the up-and-coming Bernadotte milestone, and this time we will look on building a Gruppierung, which is basically kind of a new division. Yes, it still has the logo as the old one, but it is really different. So let's jump in here and let's have a look on what's all newly added or changed in this division. Logistics is now all East German, for example. E813s here, MI8 ammunition of the NVA, and felt depots being around here as well. SPWs with 3 availability, always great to have. 2 cards of these is really nice, though they nowadays cost 100. Somebody watched my top logistic units video and had to do a nerf here, it seems. It's not only Hippie who has watched, it feels like. But yeah, good, decent logistics tab there. Infantry tab is where this division is the most interesting in my eyes. Because we start with normal MGs here, we have Militärstreife, which is pretty standard as well, and then we have Pioneers and Pioneer AGIs, which we already know as well, coming in with the triple AGI launcher. Still a really cool unit. The SPW 70 here is nice as well. Pioneer leader, pretty standard. Wach Schützenführer with Strela, that's quite nice. AA leaders, always quite cool. Interesting weapon loadout as well. SPW here coming around as well. As leaders are usually a bit further behind, so RPGs often don't come quite as effective, but if they come in with some extra AA to help out the rest of the team, that's always quite cool. Wachschützen here being a 10-man squad with a lot of cool stats here. They come with decent veterancy, but they come with shock, security, and with resolute, and they have a strong RPG 7 VR. Only 500 meter range, but 20 penetration is really good. And then the weapon loadout is pretty decent as well. Wachschützenstoß, being the Scorpion guys with satchel charges, decent as well. And Wachschützen RPO with the RPO, yeah. So Wachschützen is still quite strong. New RPG version here. KDA Schützen, still being numerous in this division. Coming in with the KDA Führer, so you have some cheap spammable stuff there. And then we come to the really interesting part in my eyes, and that's the new Modschützen variants, where we hopefully in the future will get even more variety thanks to the addition of extra weapon slots. But for now we have Modschützen Strela, SVD, normal BTR, the Modschützen SMG, and a Modschützen with Medis. So the Strela one is an 8-man squadron with a Strela. That's always good. I mean, we all know how obnoxiously strong the SAS are. Obviously, this unit not quite as strong as the SAS. They don't have an AT weapon on their own, and they don't have the special forces trait, so they don't quite deal as much damage. But an infantry unit with a lot of hit points that also has an AA is a nice mix, especially if you mix it with the other units here. SVD is another version that has extra DPS, can be nice as well. And then you have Modschützen BTR with a normal RPG and the SMG with the smaller RPG that we already know. And then we have Modschützen with a Medis. So some Medis still in here and quite a couple of them as well. Only issue that I have with this is that you only get 1 card of each of these. I wish you would get 2 and then could mix and match a bit better. But in general, still a really cool mix here with the Modschützen. Cool new unit loadouts. Wachschützen Panzerjäger being around as well as a Scorpion unit with double RPG. So good anti-tank squadron here for sure as well. The Wachschützen Panzerjäger, cool addition as well. And then you have your classic fire support weapons here as well. 25 rounds now on the SPG 9, so they can fire for a long time. That's quite good as well. So they take a bit of a price hit for it as well, but the continuous fire support that they now can provide is pretty good. You have 15 rounds on the UATS version. Artillery, it's a lot of artillery guns. You get M30s, you get good old World War II vintage. You get D30s, D20s, and M46 big guns here, which we already have seen in a lot of divisions. ARM 70s, 2 cards, so you can use a lot of rocket launchers, and you get the first time, I believe? No. Okay, yeah, no, I could see us, and what's decals as well here for these Germans as well. T-34s, 85, coming in 2 cards, being one of your 2 tanks that you get. The others are T-55s. Then you get all the possible AT cannons that you could get, CIS-2s, T-44s, and the Rapira 100mm. But yeah, you have to rely on little tanks. Your tank tab is potentially the weakest in the game now, but you at least get decent numbers there, and T-55s by now at least have okay armor, but still, obviously, gonna be interesting to use this. You get 2 cards of Rapiras, and you have decent enough numbers of Medis and AT gems here, but your T-55s and T-34s, especially if you bring 24s of these, could be interesting. T-34s also being cheap again, so you can spam a lot, and they still have the buff of the frontal armor, so T-34 is a good bit better than in any previous patch, but obviously still only T-34s, so gonna be interesting to see how that goes. Recon, pretty interesting as well, with the Granzer Flam that we already know, and the Granzer. Interesting little squads there, BRM1. And then we get the Wach Schützen, which is Special Forces with an RPG and with a Dragunov. So decent DPS and AT power. So yeah, a good, pretty affordable Special Force unit as well. Wach Schützen, really good unit for sure. This unit is worth bringing around. You can bring it in MI2s, though I would recommend usually bringing them in the UATs. But strong recon unit for sure, though availability obviously lower than the rest. But all of these pretty good options here. Get some cheap mod Cancer or KDA of Clearer. The mod Cancer can come in the FUG as well, so decent options here for sure. AA, all East German, no books here anymore. You're down to Coops, but they are still pretty good. Shilkas and Strela 2s, and then ZSU and the ZBU, which can be used as a fire support. Not the greatest unit, but interesting if you use it as anti-infantry fire support for 15 points. That's where this unit is really kind of interesting. The anti-aircraft and anti-helicopter is a nice bonus then on top. But it's more like an MG that is really affordable but can't enter buildings. Yeah, that's the ZBU here. Helicopters, classic Mi-8 in its rocket and gun forms. Pretty standard there. And then you have the air tab here, where we have more of the lovely L39. And we have it this time in a cluster version as well, which has 2 normal HE and 2 cluster bombs. So that's an interesting bomb load combination as well. And then we have rockets, and we have the double 500 kilogram bomb version as well. So yeah, the rocket one, not the strongest out there, but interesting still. And then we have here the stronger MiG-21s as air superiority fighter, but obviously nothing better than that. And then some MiG-21 with napalm and HE bombs, the combination here, which is interesting loadout as well. And then Su-22s in cluster, rocket, and napalm, and the rocket gun pod variant here, which can deal good damage against soft targets as well. Plus the really important one, the AT one, together with the cluster, as you will need your aircraft to deal with any heavier tanks coming around. This division for sure playing as a really aggressive deck with a lot of infantry supported by a lot of cheap tanks, decent AA, and then a good amount of aircraft coming in early as well. This deck will play in team games really all around the infantry tab, which is a really strong infantry tab, and in 1v1s all about the aggression and numbers, like bringing out 24 T-35s that you can bring them out within 2 minutes, or no, not quite, but within quite quick of a time period. You can bring them around. So yeah, 3 minutes, and you have them all out there, and then you can just continue rolling on forward. So it's gonna be an interesting deck. Let me know down below what you think, and yeah, we're gonna talk about the rest of the changes in an upcoming video. So see you all there. Bye bye, and have a great day.